evening. Thanks for joining us on Times Now. तू जानता नहीं है मेरा बाप कौन है has a new meaning today. Pizza burger after party inside the police station after committing double murder is symbolic of that entitled mindset. This mindset of perverse arrogance where a VVIP brat believes he can get away with anything, even cold-blooded murder, because his rich, powerful and politically connected daddy can make a few phone calls and fix the entire system to shield him. Today, a sting operation done by Times Now's special investigation team exposes this pizza burger mindset. In this candid camera admission, a man in uniform, a police officer, admits that the killer brat was served pizza burger in the police station on the night he killed two youngsters with his supercar. He was driving allegedly under the influence of alcohol, but we don't know the truth because the blood sample was thrown in the dustbin. Why was he given pizza burger? Because वो दाल चावल और वड़ा पाव खा सकता है. Watch the sting that blows the lid of the Pune Porsche cover-up.
ये इसमें मेरे को समझ में नहीं कि अचानक से वो बर्गर पिज्जा का एंगल कहाँ से आ गया मीडिया में, सोशल मीडिया में कि
जैसे आपके भाई बंदे कोई किसी ने क्या चलाया. एक्चुअली ना वो जुवेनाइल जस्टिस एक्ट में ना सेक्शन 11 है, उसको एज अ चाइल्ड ट्रीट करते हैं ना, चाइल्ड विद कॉन्फ्लिक्ट लॉ. उसको खाने पीने का ख्याल रखना वो सेक्शन में दिया हुआ है.
बराबर.
फिर 5 बजे 6 बजे अगर तुम बोलोगे कि मुझे दाल चावल खाना है तो मिलेगा नहीं. और जो हमारा गवर्नमेंट का भत्ता खाना होता है तो वड़ा या पाव होता है, तो गवर्नमेंट का खाना 11 बजे के बाद वो भी मिलेगा नहीं. ऑब्वियसली क्या होता है, हम हमारे काम में बिजी होते हैं, तो तुम आ जाओ सर मेरा भाई है उसको भूख लगी है उसको कुछ दे दूँ. तो एक्चुअली हम क्या करते हैं, जो भी तुम खाना खाते हो ना तो वो टेस्ट हम करते हैं पहले. हमको कुछ होता है क्या, बैठ अभी 10 मिनट, हमको कुछ नहीं होता है तो उसको भी खिलाते हैं, तू खा 10 मिनट बैठ, फिर उसको देते हैं. ये सब गड़बड़ में ना कि लोग ऐसा बोले कि सर मैं खाना दे दूँ, तो ये लोगों ने शायद मुझे कुछ स्टोरी नहीं पता, ये खाली सुनी सुनाई कहानियाँ तो उन्होंने दे दिया. अभी ये टाइम में मिलेगा क्या, तो पिज़्ज़ा मिलेगा, बर्गर मिलेगा, ऑनलाइन वही चालू होता है, मंगा दिया उन्होंने.
Pizza burger milta hai, manga diya, says the police inspector. All caught on camera. Let's open this up. Suhel Seth needs no introduction. Sanjay Hegde, senior advocate, Supreme Court. Also, Parvez Memon, senior partner, MZM Legal. Gentlemen, good evening. Suhel Seth, I want to begin by asking you, what do you make of this pizza burger after party inside the police station after killing two people?
So this is what I said on your channel on the day it happened, that these entitled people will get away. They will get away because, we keep blaming the justice system, but the justice system relies on the evidence that it is offered by the police, which is the law enforcement agencies. The law enforcement agencies in our country, more often than not, are more culpable than the people actually committing the crime. You saw the constant U-turns that the police commissioner of Pune took. The fact that the Home Minister of Maharashtra and the Deputy Chief Minister, Fadnavis, had to actually go there and convene a meeting tells you how shoddy the state of affairs of Pune police is. Number two, there has been constant backing and forthing on this case. There has been an attempt by the family to put the driver literally in the driver's seat to suggest that he was the one who was responsible for the victims dying. There has been a constant erosion of evidence, as has been, proven by the arrest of the head of forensics of the Sassoon Hospital. What is the police doing? The police has been compromised for two reasons. Number one, because of the way they work. And number two, Sunil Tingre, an MLA, who's the MLA of that constituency, he's at the police station for over 3 hours trying to suppress the details. So in a situation such as this, I'm amazed why the High Court of Bombay, which is one of our most respected high courts, hasn't taken suo motu notice of this dastardly crime and this brazen attempt to fudge evidence and taken the police to task. Because, we kept blaming the Juvenile Justice Board. The Juvenile Justice Board acted on the evidence that was provided to them or the FIRs details that were provided to them by the police. This tells you, Pranesh, of how rotten the system truly is. This has come to light because of times now. Now, can you imagine you didn't do the sting operation? Can you imagine the media did not have its attention on this case? The boy would have gotten away, as most do. Your channel ran a whole program saying how because of Pune, cases in Nagpur and Kanpur were reopened, which were left to perish. Now you have a formidable lawyer like Sanjay on your program. Ask him what he believes. Because, you can blame the judiciary up to a point, but the judiciary has to act on the basis of the evidence it sees. If the evidence itself is porous, fudged, and compromised, what do you do in this country? And where do we go from here? You have suspended 2 police officers at the lowest levels of the food chain. The police commissioner is still there, giving one press conference after the other, always contradicting himself from day one till now, and no action seems to have been taken.
Sanjay Hegde, what does this tell us? Money can buy everything?
Well, money can buy you a lot of things, but money on one side ensures that justice doesn't come out on the other at times. And let me also tell you that there is a lot of systemic inertia. I've been at the receiving end of 2 accidents. Once an auto rickshaw in which I was sitting was hit from behind. And the policeman basically looked at me and said, "Do you really want to file a case?" So I thought it was faster to call up my friend who was a doctor and get myself stitched up, and then no case got registered. I know that. The policeman's first incentive is to try and sort out the matter without registering a case. That's the first instinct. Anyway, the second thing is, when a policeman is told how to handle a case, as in this case, the MLA concerned suddenly appeared, then the policeman knows, he tries to please those in authority. Because after all, policemen are vulnerable to transfers. They are vulnerable to a whole host of other inducements also. So it is thanks to the press, thanks to the alert press, and everybody getting on the job that now the truth is coming out. What really shocked me was that doctors too, at the forensic level, were willing to play around. To throw away a piece of evidence, the blood sample, and then to substitute it with somebody else's sample and then say that there was no alcohol detected, that is being that calls for a separate punishment in itself under 201 of the IPC. So the system is not designed to be victim friendly. It becomes a question of power. Here there was disproportionate power on the other side, which got evened out only when channels like yours stepped into the process. Now the attempt is to try and drag it out so that the channels lose interest, and then thereafter, hopefully, other forces can get back into play.
It's not that we lose interest, we will not relent. The trouble is that we have to then look after other cases. Look what Prajwal Revanna is doing to the system. He's sitting abroad, and almost a month later, he's trying victim. He says, "I'm under depression." So we're talking about the systemic rot. Prajwal is another example, the Prajwal case. And Suhel said, the pizza burger admission aside, look at what the government doctors have done. The blood sample is collected and then thrown in the dustbin. This happens in serials and movies.
So this is what Sanjay was referring to. I think the level of criminality at its highest point is actually with the doctors, because that would have been the basis of evidence. What would have it established? It would have established driving under the influence of alcohol. That would have been the very edifice of any evidential inquiry against that boy or case against that boy. If you have destroyed that, it is very easy for criminal lawyers to then argue that it is debatable what the original sample could have been. Because I can say that, no, if you have thrown away the sample, hang the doctor, which they have done. The doctor has been suspended. What happens, Pranesh, in all of this is the boy and his family will get away for three reasons. Number one, the evidence which would have been used to actually put them in the dock does not exist. Destroyed, not destroyed, the bottom line is it doesn't exist. Number two, the cops in your sting have admitted that they have fed the boy pizza or burgers. The lawyer can then argue, the criminal lawyer can then argue that, look, if this has happened, it is not my client's fault. The police has been lax in creating and following a standard operating procedure. The third is they will then say that why did the boy or why was the charge sheet not filed up until 8 hours after the crime was committed or the accident happened? Mark my words, Pranesh, as soon as the media attention is diverted from this case, these guys will come to a deal. The boy will be out and he'll be a danger again. This thing that, oh, he won't get a driving license till 25 is laughable. I mean, it is stupid. It's as laughable as one of his lawyers who on your channel said that, no, my client has done nothing wrong. It was the driver who was driving.
Right.
In a country where you can mock the poor and actually buy their silence in exchange for prison term should tell you something about how badly our system has gone wrong.
Mr. Memon, now that, it is established beyond doubt that there was compromise, complicity, perhaps collusion at many levels we don't know, what can the state do to secure justice?
Well, Pranesh, firstly, thank you for having me at Times Now today here, and I'm deeply honored to be sharing the dais with Suhel Seth and Sanjay Hegde here. I completely agree with both the panelists, more so particularly with Mr. Suhel Seth, as to all the points that he is making in view of the legal system that prevails today. But having heard Suhel Seth, I am of the view that we should not lose hope in the dispensation system of justice, because it is invariably, we have seen in our experience for last 25 years, I have been conducting trials, and I have seen in courts that it is not merely the direct evidence that the court requires to convict an accused. The court can always draw adverse inference. The court can always rely on circumstantial evidence. More so in this particular case, the evidence that has been forthcoming through you media channels like Times Now and all other channels that are exposing day after day one or the other thing. In this case, I am sure the court will take notice of all these facts and come to a just conclusion. We should not lose hope in our judiciary. I
understand that sentiment, but look, it's very easy for all of us to sit here and say that let's not lose hope. The fact is that people are losing lives. I mean, what would you tell the parents of Anish and Ashwini? Can you tell them that don't lose hope?
And remember, Pranesh, Ashwini's father was told by the Pune police to get out of Pune with the dead body ASAP, which Ashwini's father has admitted on multifarious platforms. So the father was told by the police to get out of Pune, not because they were concerned about the funeral happening on time, but they wanted no media attention, because if the body was there, there'd be media attention. This is how gory the whole behavior and despicable the behavior of the Pune police has been. The Pune police at one time was a great force. Is it because of leadership of the present commissioner or, the systemic errors? I don't know what's happened, but something majorly has gone wrong.
Who will fix the system? When will the system be fixed? All big questions. We will pursue to... Yes, Mr. Memon, go ahead. Make your point.
Yes, Pranesh, I agree with Suhel that the system needs to be sensitized. The police department needs to be sensitized. But having said so, is this the only case that the police has behaved in this particular manner? In my experience, I would say that in every case, invariably, this is how the system functions. That need to be corrected.
That's precisely
from
the point. It is all the more worrying.
This is a case of eye-opening for all of us.
We've been waiting for system or a systemic reform. We are all part of the system. And Sanjay Hegde was speaking of experience, personal experience.
Yes.
How policemen behave. He wasn't offered a pizza and burger when he said, look, I met with an accident. Mr. Hegde, 30 seconds.
Yes, absolutely.
Indeed.
the policeman just did not want anything down in writing so that he didn't have to process it further. He looked that I could get into another vehicle and reach a doctor. He said, do you really want me to register? That's all that he did. Now, the other thing is the policemen are all about power. They are not about service. If there is an obvious victim, to help out the victim first and not to protect the perpetrator, that is the systemic change that is really required.
Let's see when the police commissioner of Pune, Mr. Amitesh Kumar, comes out, holds another briefing and takes these questions. Gentlemen, I thank all of you for joining us on Times Now. We're taking a short break.